Bum bum ba da dum ba da dum bum bum ba da dum. What's this? At least one minute of video. I need to start a highlight. Oh, that's pretty cool. I can highlight from here. What's this? Oh, flash. I can turn flash on. That's pretty cool. Okay. Hey, Alex. How you doing? Whoa, what's up, Totino? How are you? Welcome in. Oh boy, we out here. Yeah, hi, Totino. Good to see you. Gianna, hi. New place, new grace, new smell, new bell. See, let's go. Welcome in, everybody. Oh, uh, you could change that. Let me look it up for you real quick. One sec. Let me help you out. Welcome in, everybody. So go to your homepage, click on your profile, and then go to your Google account. Yeah, you can change it there. You can also change it, I think, in settings. Yeah, so go to your settings. It's okay. Like I don't want, I don't want anybody. What's up, Saharina and Totino from Mars? How are you? Here's some spirostomum, everybody. Lots of single-celled organisms tonight was the majority of the slide. Only be going about a half hour, 45 minutes here. I should be in bed. Yes, you should, Cosmo. In Canada, the bedtime is midnight. It just means the quality really nice. It's better. It's better. Let's do some different lightings here. Cover your eyes, flash warning, flash warning, flash warning. 1 second. Okay, cool. I gotta mod you. Add as moderator. Managing moderator. Cosmo, add as moderator. Managing moderator. Alex, add as moderator. Managing moderator. Dang, we're getting all this done up in here. And if any of the audience that moved over here doesn't tap the screen too much, don't tap the screen too much, it doesn't like it. Welcome in, everybody. That looks nice. It does. Yeah, I like the quality here. I like the quality. I really do. Beautiful spirostomums here. I'm a wrench person. You are ick. I'm a lazy individual. What? Something is wrong with your spaghetti? Nuh-uh, mighty funk monk. Nuh-uh. Don't talk about my spaghetti like that ever again. But welcome in. How you doing? These are spirostomums right here. S-P-I-R-O-S-T-O-M-U-M. This is from pond water. All these strands here are like blue-green algae known as cyanobacteria. I think I should have a piece of hair somewhere in here too. Oh, hair. Where are you? Here it is. So that's hair. That's my hair. And you see all these things are blue-green algae. Hey, Destiny. Oh, wow. I know. Isn't it fun, zombie? Looking at single-celled organisms. And if you see that cyanobacteria here, these are long chains of photosynthetic bacteria that link together. They actually move. They're all moving, which is really cool, right? Super awesome stuff. But welcome in, everybody. I hope you're having a good night. I hope you're feeling all right. I hope you're not smelly. And if you are, that's okay. So am I, just a little bit. But welcome in. Chat, you can manually set your resolution to 720p. Oh, look at this. This is pretty cool. Look how this is all the cyanobacteria is stranding up because it's drying out. I gotta add some water here. Let's do that right now. That's salt water, Mike. Jeez, nice try, goofball. Do. If you tap the right side of the screen, you can set up reactions. Some reactions pop up and you can tap them lots. Oh, I love that. But welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. How you doing? Goop, goop. Goop, goop. That's right. That's what we say over here. We got some water in here. See that? See when I added water in, how it changed? Isn't that cool? pretty. It is. Ooh, Art. Hi, Art. Welcome. Welcome to my new pad for the time being. It's a whole new world here. It is. So cool. Hey, Christina, thank you so much for taking the time to transfer over. I appreciate that. Freshwater pond. That is correct, Totino. Yes. Tomorrow night, I'll be doing ocean water. Probably the same type of deal, being that I'll be going live first on the other app and then second here. Where's that Eliazoma that I just saw? What the heck in the frick? There it is. Look at that quality. It's so beautiful. Just like a blanket of little critters. It more or less is zombie, and that's a really interesting observation that you make there. Because yes, we see that these strands, you see, they clump together to form this blue-green mush of algae, right? So it's like a blanket. It weaves through. Hey, Destiny, why you in a box? That's a cute cat in a box. I like it. Oh, there's so many fun emotes. Let's get the emotes in the chat, everybody. Go ahead and take a little peek. Give yourself a tap on the emote. Oh, this one doesn't look correct. Something's going on here. Parsons, hello, new old world. Yep. If I drink fresh water, this is what I drink. No. Fresh water, fresh pond. Fresh water means, in nerd terms, there's no salt in it, Beth. There's no salt in the water. But that's a good question. It's a really good question. Oh, you can track your messages here? Oh, that's fun. You don't have to feel like there's dumb questions. Those don't exist here. Only kind questions and smart questions and curiosity. Welcome in, everybody. You just said that, Scott? Copycats. Smell out of here, Scott. Smell on right out of here with that smelly attitude. Sorry, I didn't mean to delete the comment. Oh, it's okay, Beth. No worries. But yeah, this isn't a pond. Like, if you go to the edge of a pond where there's like lots of decaying leaves in it, up here in Pennsylvania, we get fall where all the leaves fall in, obviously. And you scoop some of that mud and goop out, you'll have these in it. So, Harina, stop retracting. This is pond water, Rengoku. Pond water under the microscope. We love questions here, chatters, yes? Is this the Colgate in a pump bottle? I think so, Art. That's an interesting one. Our explorer of all of the new reactions. All right. Beautiful. Thought it said something on the messenger chat. Is this me in a Colgate tube? I have no clue. Tooth sweater, red guy. Welcome in, everybody. Anyone to figure out the view count is? Top left, I see, or top of my screen, it says 9 people in here. Started out around 22. Welcome in. Can't do tap taps. I don't know if we can do tap taps. I don't think so. The views are up top, yeah. Yeah, the viewers 9 in here and 8 likes. Hey, Autumn. How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome into the Microscope Live. How you doing? These are Spirostomum right here, everybody. Spirostomum. Spirostomum are single-celled eukaryotic microorganisms. Just means they're kind of fancy. They're single-celled, right? They live in ponds, lakes, streams, creeks, slower-moving water, eating bacteria. Just reaction tabs. That's what I'm talking about. What are you zoomed in on your pubes? Oh, wow. So edgy and hilarious, Zachary. Man, you got me. You know. This is pond water under the microscope. And I'll show you what hair looks like, but not from there. Good guess though. That's what human hair looks like. Maybe yours doesn't look like that. Maybe it's very, let me see what kind of hair you have. You probably have a lot of like fibers from that hoodie you wear in your hair, I would imagine. Hey Jetmoto, how you doing? What's up, Jetsmoto and Fishing? How you doing? So this is a human hair under the microscope compared to the cyanobacteria down there. Welcome in, everybody. How in the spelling bee? Jetsmoto. Oh, good. Glad to hear that. Here's an Eliazoma. This is an annelid worm right here. Annelid meaning a segmented. Think earthworms and the ribbons that they have going across them. You know what I'm talking about? Welcome in, everybody. This is pond water under the microscope. These are Paramecium caudatum right here. These ones, these little single-celled ones, Paramecium caudatum. Single-celled eukaryotic microorganisms living in ponds, lakes, streams, creeks. Filter feeders, right? They use tiny little cilia, right? Tiny little cilia, C-I-L-I-A. Cilia are the hairs in which facilitate filtering of water and movement through the water. Imagine if every hair on your body could wave in a very synchronized function to help you swim faster. What would happen if a person ingested this? None of these are bacteria. Let me show you bacteria quick so we can all just know what bacteria is. None of these are bacteria. I'll show you what bacteria looks like. 1 sec. Cover your eyes. Flash warning. 3, 2, 1. Flash warning. Flash warning. Let's see if we can see them. Seem to be getting eaten quite a bit here. So we'll go to someplace else real quick. Just find a good place to go. So none of these are going to make you sick directly, but the cyanobacteria probably will. That probably will make you sick. So things around this small scale here, bacteria. That's what bacteria looks like for the most part. Some of it moves, some of it doesn't. Let's see if we can find any that's active though. Let's take a check down here. If there's one. All right, let's just sit here for a second. You'll see tiny little dots swimming across the screen. The tiny little dots are bacteria. The smallest things you see at that scale down there are the bacteria. You see that tiny little dot swimming around down there? So that is bacteria. Mike bothering time. Mike bothering time. Yep, it's me. Let's zoom in again. See if I can get you in a little better here. You want to see Darkfield? We will in a second, Scott. Okay, buzz off. See that tiny little dot down there? That tiny little circle, little speck? This is the size that bacteria are. So whenever you see any videos on the internet, any app, remember that if it's not this generalized size and they're calling it bacteria, they most likely have no clue what they're talking about, or they're lying to you on purpose to fearmonger. But welcome in, everybody. A dab, there's a dab here. Looks like we're crawling my ear. You'd be all right if you don't put your ear in a pond, you know? You'd be okay. You'd be all right. Don't worry. Don't fret. Don't fret now. Why are these also still over here? Do they need more water? No, we're just going to watch these ones then. What's the oldest that predates bacteria? I don't know. Something. I have no clue. I'm not an evolutionary biologist, Zachary. I refuse to dive into that stuff, too. I really, for me, I live kind of like, I don't know, golden retriever, head in the sand. Everyone's always like, what's the origin of life? What's the meaning of life? I don't know. I'm just going to try to do good things in my life and try to be happy, and that's what the meaning of life is. So I don't know what the oldest one is. I know probably one of them does. Luca, there you go. Okay, cool. Thanks, Cosmological. See, that's the scientists in here. Welcome in, everybody. If you're having a good time, make sure to hit that like button and share it to a few friends, even if they don't like science, because anyone can learn this stuff, and it's for everybody. And anybody who's ever said that science isn't for you, or you're not smart enough to learn science, was just a terrible teacher. Welcome in, everybody. Last Uncle Crispy Apple. Do you like dinosaurs? Not as much as I like these. Think about T-Rex, around 70 million years ago was here. Sure, cool, but tardigrades and other microorganisms, 500 million years on Earth. So they're very successful, and I can appreciate that in an organism. All right, so I'm going to change to Darkfield, everybody. I want you to cover your eyes. Flash warning, flash warning. 3, 2, 1. Cover your eyes. Bring it down a little bit. Okay, you can look. So now we're in Darkfield microscopy. What we've done is we've applied a black background to our image to allow contrast. Most of these organisms are genuinely translucent, harder to see. So now we're in Darkfield. So Darkfield is great for observing organisms that are translucent, not transparent. Transparent is like a clear pane of glass you see through basically 100%. Translucent means like security glass or stained glass. So you can kind of see through it, but you really can't. Pretty cool. What water is this from? David Whitney. Thank you for your nice comment. So David, this is from a freshwater pond not far from where I reside. I gathered it from the shore with some aquatic vegetation, a bit of, decomposing vegetation, like the leaves that fall into the pond, and a bit of soil. What about pterosaurs? They're cool. Flying things, that's pretty cool. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Less dramatic aberration for some reason. I don't know what they do here. I think it looks great. Pterosaurs are the best. I do love me a pterosaur. But welcome in, everybody. I hope you're having a great time. I hope you're enjoying the information. If you have any questions, this place is a place where you can ask questions safely. Curiosity is okay. You don't have to know everything, or you don't have to know anything about this. I will absolutely ruin anybody who instigates or attacks you for asking questions. So reminds me of the creatures from Final Fantasy Spirits Within. Those things are like, okay, I gotta check that out. Final Fantasy Spirits. Two 2001 film. Oh wow, I'd never seen this. I'll have to check that out then. Thanks for that one, Mighty Funk Monk. Good name, by the way. Classic name. But welcome in, everybody. I hope you're having a good night. Are those protozoas? Interesting that you know that. Yes, Zachary. These are what we consider protozoans, meaning single-celled or simple, right? And then zoan, animal. So like it's an animal-like single-celled organism, right? Because we see them, they do things that animals do, but they're not animals for some reason. I didn't make that classification. But they eat, they poop or excrete waste, and they reproduce. Pretty much animal-like behavior if you think about it. My first YouTube live, here we are, also writing it down. I like YouTube so much, it's nice. I like it too here. This one's going pretty well. Got a whole bunch of people in here. Thank you all. I think a lot of the silent viewers are here too, which makes my heart full. The resolution is so nice. I think so too. I think it's better by leaps and bounds. How do they reproduce? Sorry, for press. This has been nice so far, Alex. I agree. How do they reproduce? So broadly speaking, Mighty Funk Monk, broadly speaking for the protozoans on the slide, you're going to be looking at something called binary fission. Now that's way too broad, but it's an easy definition in that the organism will split and have equal amounts of the genetic material. So they'll split the genetic material pretty much down the middle. Not really. It's a whole process. Essentially what they do is they just divide in half. They pinch off in the middle and they divide. Wham bam, you got a new organism on top of the original one, but they're both considered daughter cells that are differentiated from the mother cell. Great question. Essentially, as you split and then bam, two of you. I wish I could do that. When two protozoa like each other, they do something called conjugation, Christina. So conjugation is a process that does not result in a reproductive or another organism, right? There's no reproductive capability, right? So it's not really reproduction. It's a reproductive process, you could say. So what an organism will do, let's say two parameciums, and we've seen this on live before many times. We'll see it in the future, I'm sure. But we see that like organisms are able to line up with each other, mesh their cell membranes together temporarily, and exchange bits of their genetic material with each other, which promotes diversity in a group of organisms that solely rely on asexual reproduction to get the job done. And again, you just have clone after clone after clone after clone, you'd run into some problems. So it's good to have organisms that are able to overcome that by a outside of reproductive process of conjugation, where they exchange bits of the genetic material with each other. Hooray. Someone get this guy a whiteboard. I have a few. But yeah. They can do both, basically. Kinda, yeah. Yeah. Exactly. They can either conjugate or just decide to divide. How that happens, I don't know. What if that's what's happening right here? Welcome in, everybody. Did you start teaching Cosmo? I think so. I teach Cosmo about a year ago. Oof, that didn't look too good. Why does it look? Oh, because there's a little bit of water there. Let's zoom in close on one of these baddies. See what it looks like. Else would be so clean. All right. Yeah, just divide. I would love to do that too. I feel bad about the one that had to work all the time. All right. And let's try a flash warning. Flash warning. 3, 2, 1. Perfect, 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 perfect right there. All right. Zoom in again. See if we can get him to focus. Yep, there you go. So you see those little hairs? See the things on the extremity of the cell? If you look on the right side of the cell, you can see little waving hairs, right? Those are called cilia, C-I-L-I-A. Cilia are in Latin for eyelash, real clever. Essentially, those cilia are responsible for both movement through the water. You can see them waving on the left side there, right? Do love me some learn. Here we go. I'm moving to the laptop, but it doesn't have autocorrect like my phone. Uh-oh. Switch off for work. Yep. So you can see those little hairs there. They're very important. Very important in moving the organism around and as well as facilitating feeding. We don't consider these filter feeders. Nerd talk here, everybody. Get ready. The reason we don't consider these filter feeders is because they don't have a filter necessarily. It's basically what they call a cytostome, which is a mouth for a single-celled organism, and a groove that the food would run along. Because you can see here, if you look closely, you pay attention, you can see that this is like a little lip here, right? You see there's a little lip, and then here's the rest of the organism. It's like a little bend, right? So that is where the mouth is in that groove. You can see they all have it too, right? They all have those mouth grooves. Mouth grooves is a good name. Lazy filter feeding, yes. Essentially, what we consider it is actual suspension feeding, because filter feeding is like what you'd see a blue whale do. You know how they go and they eat the krill and they use them weird teeth they got to filter to allow the krill to go through, but to filter water, but also capture the krill. However those nerd whales do it. Essentially, that's filter feeding. But suspension feeding is a bit more generalized in that there's no true filter. Like there's not a filter area to filter out food from not food. And moreover, anything that is suspended in the water, will be consumed, right? So bacteria, algae, detritus, animal waste, all that. From a poll to the chat, yes. Yep, what can I do with comments here? Pin. Oh, look. So yeah, where'd you guys come from? Saharina, TT. But welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. And you see how that fold is there, right? You see that fold more now? And that fold that's called, I believe, like the oral groove is what they call it. I didn't name it that. They did. My mom. Thanks, Cosmo. Very helpful. Very British of you, too. Me mum. The difference between bacteria and archaebacteria? The name is spelling. Probably a pretty complex thing. Like there's general bacteria, I would imagine, and then archaea are the archaea. Pretty much. As Graves. Oh, hey, Graves. Graves and Gardens. Graves and Gardens. And then I think you have like a rose or a heart. I think. You should call him Frank. We can call him Frank if you want. So this is a euplotes here. E-U-P-L-O-T-E-S. Archaea bacteria is a bad name for archaea because it ain't bacteria. That's funny. Love you, science. So euplotes right down there. Your little euplotes, a single-celled filter feeder. They move differently than the other organisms on the slide here. They move using something called cirri, C-I-R-R-I. No, it's not from The Witcher, okay? I know you all are crazy for Geralt. Calm down. And you see those spikes there. They're not really spikes. They're more like sensory little cirri, right? They're long cilia. They use for sensing things. But they also have cilia around their mouth, too. I'm trying to get a good angle of that. TT. Just haven't made any. Yeah. Ah, gotcha. Dest. So cool. So bacteria don't have nuclei, from what I remember. Ooh, that rotifer almost got eaten. That's a rotifer down there. That's multicellular, believe it or not. Didn't even have to say anything and I get called out. Totinos from Mars. Introducing Totinos from Mars. Introducing rust flavor. Have you ever wanted the taste of Mars right in your little mouth? Come on, put a little bit of iron dust on your Totinos. Put it, delicious. Wait, they're Tostinos. Wait, are they Totinos? Uh-oh. Welcome in, everybody. I hope you're having a good night. Here's a bubble, just in case you're having a bad day. There you go. Why am I not seeing TD or YT in chat? Team players. I see it, which is odd. The scary movements. Yeah, the scary movements of the euplotes is kind of unsettling, and I don't blame people for kind of feeling that way. But welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Use my real name. Gotta change that. I won't. I don't know who you. Ew. Stop it. Stop it, YouTube. What is the most surprising thing you've seen in food under the microscope? Nothing. Nothing. I genuinely nothing. Nothing to surprise me. In most meat products, you're gonna end up with like a little slivers of fur. It happens, but you don't. They're microscopic, so you don't even notice them when you're eating them. Like most meat products, I've found little fuzzes in them, and that's just the nature of meat, though. I mean, if you're eating a mammal, kind of bound to happen. But I've never found anything sketchy in food. Again, I'll use this as a second to kind of advocate. So 90% of the viral microscopy content, not so much on this app here on YouTube. I'll give YouTube that. It's not as bad here. But on other places, especially on Meta and TikTok, right? On those apps, you will find 90% of the viral microscopy content that follows the following format is fake. So it'll be scary music, just all scary music. And if you go to the page of that channel, it'll be the same type of video over and over and over and over and over again. Scary music, no commentary. No explanation of what they found, the species name, the genus name, no explanation of how it might have gotten there. They just fake their footage. So when you see viral microscopy content of food, you can be 90% sure that the stuff is fake. Any microscopist who's ever used a microscope will know that it is fake footage. I've never found anything moving on food. I've done chips, I've done soda, I've done cheeseburgers, I've done raw beef, which maybe something was in that, but that's why we cook our raw beef, right? I mean, the list goes on and on of foods that I've done, and I've never found anything moving. So the fact of the matter is that either I'm terrible at sampling, or the people who make those videos are faking it. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. No matter how much it cost. You want more song? You can change your name shown in your profile in your profile chat. Gotcha. But welcome in, everybody. Hope you're having a good night. Hope you're having fun. These are 2 parameciums. You can see the hairs on them there. The cilia even better now. Good night, Canvas. I think I'm about to go for another 15 here, and then again, we're gonna have an abridged end here. I'm just kind of feeling this place out. I will talk to you, though. I'll bring you to the other room, but we're gonna keep it brief. So I haven't read the terms of service. I don't know if there's certain things that I can't say and can say, so I'm gonna keep it very brief. Any new microscopic species discovered frequently? Yes, albeit now, like you got to think about, like for certain organisms like tardigrades, you want to find more of them and see what they're capable of and see how they do it, whatever. But like there's not much here. Here's the sad thing about it. Monk, is that there's not a whole ton of money in naming and classifying new organisms. There's not a whole lot of money in it. There's no funding for it, or very little funding for it, which is kind of problematic, right? Because then you won't really have the opportunity to have enough people researching. And the thing is, I think these organisms are countless, right? I don't think anybody in their life could classify all the organisms, learn all the organisms alone that we even know. Like for nematodes, we think there's millions upon millions of species. But yes, tardigrades are pretty regularly discovered, to be honest. There's a good portion of people out there looking for them. But I don't know if I found anything new, because how would I, right? In order to know, like, you found a new species, it's probably going to have to be a species that you've studied for quite some time, right? That you know all about, you know the minute differences between one and two. But they do so much for our world. Yes, they do. They do. But again, like, things that make us sick, protozoans, bacteria that make us sick, there's a lot of money going into that to figure out how to defeat those things, because they make us sick. But if something doesn't make us sick, then we kind of don't care about it when it comes to microscope, to be honest. But we do. I mean, there's people who are definite taxonomists, and they'll just classify organisms their whole life. Where the organism food ingestion is stored is broken down by the organism. We're talking about food vacuoles, I'm imagining. Yes. Food vacuoles is a pretty much simple stomach, if you want to think about it. Let's see if I can find one. Yeah, right here. So you see those little circles in there? Those are food vacuoles. Food vacuoles are essentially simple stomachs. They're membranes that surround food bits. What is food bits? It could be any piece of algae, bacteria, or another single-celled organism. Whatever they ate, surround it, right, in a membrane, and then that membrane, they secrete inside of that membrane some digestive enzymes that break the food down. And as soon as the food is broken down in its entirety, the food vacuole will rupture, open up. That sounds brutal, but it's kind of normal. And then by diffusion and the cytoskeleton, which is a network of proteins around the cell that allow for transport of stuff, it'll get traveled around the cell. You know, pretty cool stuff. Viewers can pause the live. You can pause the live? No way. That's so cool. That's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Like all the single-celled organisms we see here too, they use that food vacuole to digest food, right? Yes, Totinos. Yes, these are most certainly eukaryotic, meaning they have a nuclear membrane, right? Or the nucleus, a nuclear membrane that surrounds the genetic material, as opposed to prokaryotes, which are bacteria and archaea, and they do not have a nucleus. That's pretty much the big difference between the prokaryotes and eukaryotes. That's a huge difference. Now, eukaryotes, well, like, I like to explain it like this. This is kind of a good way to explain it. Let's say you go to buy a car, and you have an option between a prokaryotic car and a eukaryotic car. The eukaryotic car is just your regular Kia or Honda. It's got the windows go up and down, all the bells and whistles, everything's working, right? You got AC, you got mirrors, you know what I'm talking about. So that's a eukaryotic cell, pretty much with all the fixings. The special organelles, cell membranes, special processes, intracellular processes. Bacteria, prokaryotes, are like if you would go to buy a car, and you would buy the car, it came with the wheels, the frame, the engine, a steering wheel, and a seat, and a brake, and a gas pedal. So it'd work, right? It would work. I mean, a transmission, all the mechanical components, but no cushy seat, no AC, no windows, no aluminum on the outside. Right? It's just bare bones. And that's not the best way to describe it, but you can kind of make that comparison between the two, eukaryotic and prokaryotic. Really appreciate how well you teach and keep this interesting for people with varying prior knowledge. My pleasure. Are mycelium studied in completely different fields? Are they also studied along microscopic organisms? I would follow the mycologist. Mycology is a study of a fungus, more or less. So yeah, You would definitely utilize a microscope in order to identify certain funguses by their spores, I'm sure, by like certain microstructures that you can't really see with the naked eye, because one mushroom might look so identical to the other, but they're different, right? One is poisonous, one is not, and we got to figure out how do we identify which one is poisonous, which one's not. So mycelium would be more the job of a mycologist, but they would definitely use a microscope in some respects. All of the mycologists that I know are more focused on the cultivation of mushrooms and growing them. What kinds, I don't know, but it's not my business. Yeah, I'll be posting the live on my page after I'm done. Yeah. I love how it does that too. As soon as it uploads, I'll upload this whole live so you all can watch back if you want. But yeah. Yeah. So I've looked at mushrooms before on my other account on TikTok, right? Looked at like the portobello mushroom before. Cool. I also had a house centipede that I captured. It perished. That's how I captured it. It scared me, okay, and I got it. Normally don't hurt bugs, but the house centipede, I kept it in a paper towel in a plastic baggie and let it get moist in there. I know that's weird, but from that house centipede, I actually had sprouts of some fungus of some kind starting to break down the organism. Welcome in, everybody. What's spam? Oh, it's spam. A can of spam. It's angry. Why is it so mad? Have you tried horizontal on YouTube? Yeah, I have. Not interested in it, Scott. The reason being is, again, the majority of viewers that are going to be viewing a live stream are normally not going to just sit up by their computer unless they're gaming, right? They're playing video games, it's having in the background. And even at that, I think vertical is the way to go. We can definitely try it. I did a YouTube live with the horizontal. It was good. This is just stable and easy to do. Are spores classified as organisms? No. Well, they're part of an organism. They're the reproductive capability of mushrooms, of fungus. Alex D. Listen, if Alex D likes spam, Totino's, I'm going to say it right now. I will trust Alex on it. I don't think you know the capability, the culinary capability of this human being. There's something special about him, in a very good way, in that, you go to a party and you get like, oh, charcuterie board. Oh, there's like two choices of meat and like, oh, like two types of cheeses and two types of crackers. You go to Alex charcuterie board at a little party. You've got 45 different types of vegetables, 73 different types of crackers, 327 types of cheese, and about 45 different cuts of meat, as well as things that I don't even know, like corn in a bowl, but that corn looks seasoned. So I don't know. Maybe it was salsa. Yeah. He's being a touch upset. We call him the charcutes. Corn in a bowl. Wait, no, Alex. No, I don't know if that's what I saw. Okay, I'm just kind of giving an example. I think so, Christina. Yes, of course. Yep. That's shit. That's what I meant. But yeah, probably gonna go for about another 4 minutes here, everybody. All right, we'll make it a 45-minute live here, which is nice. If we continue to go live here, we'll build up a bunch of content that you all can just, if you're having a bad day, just put me on in the background. I think I have another live up already. It's on my page. So I'll just keep posting these. I think Destiny, Destiny, I'm trying. 1 like per customer. I promise to never serve anyone a bowl of corn at my party unless it's popped. We just like to have fun here, Alex. Well, Christina, is everything okay? Well, dang. Well, hot dog and dang. Excuse me. Dang, Tostinos. My name is Tostinos. Hey. My name is Tostinos. All good here. Okay, cool. Cool. I like to make sure everyone's comfortable, you know. To an extent, then it's not my problem, you know. But welcome in, everybody. Just looking at some single-celled organisms right now. Paramecium is a broad term. Sure. Generally speaking, yes. I don't know how many species there are of Paramecium. Paramecium's broad, but it's close enough to get us where we need to go. Yeah, let's see here. I love how I see the data here, and I'm like, I don't want to count that. I thought about putting it into a spreadsheet. So there's like, I don't know, 20, 30 at least that I'm seeing here, and that's just the ones that we classified. What's the round thing? Did I miss it? This thing here? Is these ones? Paramecium should have a much more difficult spelling. How would you think it should be spelled, Totinos? I think I missed it, Mighty Funk Monk. Any organisms flagella? No, we'll see those tomorrow night, though, for the ocean water live. I have a lot more flagellates in that tank. But yeah, but I go for another 4 minutes here, or 3 minutes and 30 seconds. This is great. Let's see, a lot of people came over. Super happy about that. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate the support of this channel, especially in these dark times of we don't know what's going to happen to our original platform. It's nice to see that people are making the effort. And trust me, I see that, everybody. I see that to the left. Oh, it's a bubble. Sorry. Yeah, it's a bubble. Let me show you. I'm going to make everybody's day here. Let me show you. Let's do the thing. In a world where all bubbles are kind of shiny, one man and his microscope unveiling the bubbly truth. Bwah, 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 bwah. All right, let's do it again. Everybody cover your eyes. Flash warning, flash warning. 3, 2, 1. Salt water's for extroverts. And let's do it again. Coming this summer. Can Microscope make bubbles? There you go. But yeah, it's a bubble. Pretty cool, huh? I've always loved me bubbles. Take a bubble, put it in my hand. I'll squish it because I'm so strong. I don't know why I said that. One ring to rule them all. One ring to find the fire. Sorry. Death the Ring, yeah. Oh wait, you mean like the Ring, like the scary movie? When she called, then like didn't the Ring girl like call you, me like, I'm gonna come through your TV. You better run away from me. Oh, you can't, 'cause you're scared. That doesn't make really much sense at all. Remember that? Welcome in, everybody. Looks similar to a black hole. It does, doesn't it? Especially how it messes with the light. What, Saharina? I remember that. My roommate is looking at me weird. Stink off, roommate. Yeah, that's right, stinker. Well, that's right. You're thinking of Forrest Gump. Yes, thank you, Scott. Don't be scary. You don't want me to be scared? Was that scary to you, Saharina? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I love the emotes. They're hilarious. I love that one. It's like a sad television. Like, oh, what is he saying now? They do be running. Thank you, my knight in shining armor. Oh boy. That's a beautiful bubble. Oh, I probably could do that too. I'm not gonna do it though, but I could. I would never do such a thing to you, my darlings. How about that? That's fun? Here's a gastro trick. We haven't seen one of these all live, which is kind of a bummer. It's a multicellular organism that lives like 2-3 days, lays eggs like on the second day or first day of its life. Just very rapid life cycle. Believe it or not. Sad television is another one of my nicknames. Precious. Aw. It's the best thing to find at 1 a.m. Hey, ghost. Right there, right back with you, or there with you. It's almost 2 for me though. Gonna go for, I don't know, maybe another 5 minutes now. Just kind of chill out. But thanks for stopping in. If you'd like to see this, I'll probably be here after the January 19th, depending on how things go. So I'll be here forever. You're never gonna get rid of me. Glad you're here though, Ghost. Looks like shark egg purse. Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? These are paramecium caudatum right here, single-celled microorganisms. All these strands here are cyanobacteria, blue-green algae. It's not hair. I'll show you what hair looks like. Where's my hair? Where the frick is my frickin' hair? The frick? Uh-oh. We've lost the hair, everybody. Very odd. Oh, here it is. So that's human hair under the microscope. Let me zoom out for a bit of context. There you go. That's what human hair looks like. This is pond water ghost under the microscope. Pond water, just like ocean, like near the shore rather. Pond water. I collected some of the soil, some of the decomposing leaves, and here's what you get. The clock stops talking, yeah. All the followers will find you again. I sure hope so. Mighty Funk Monk. I'll explain it to you broadly. So you're gonna have to. I'm gonna give you an example of the people who want to ban the app, and then you'll know who they are. So they said, "No, I'm confused here. If I make a ham sandwich and I would post that as a TikTok, would everybody be able to take a bite of my ham sandwich? I just don't understand the safety behind it." So if the people who don't know how the internet works, if they decide to ban the app because they're concerned about data being imported to another country, I'll be here, right? Here's the thing though, Google has already done that, and Mark Zuckerberg is constantly doing that to you. So Meta's trash. I will never go on those apps. I'll never be there. I don't respect that man at all. I don't want to use his crappy platforms. Welcome in, everybody. Hey, Jade. That's right, so dead space. Except here, we like to have fun here. Ooh. No apologies to them either, yeah? People are allowed to do what they want with their body, though. That's the kind of way I look at it. None of my business. I'm just going to stick here with my microscope. Let bygones be bygones and teach science. I love these Spirostomum, though. I love the long worm-like organisms because they're not worms. If you remember them as worms, though, I wouldn't blame you. Spirostomum are single-celled eukaryotic organisms that namely or primarily eat bacteria. Bacteria is really, really small here. Jay. Oh, that's Jay. I love that. I love Jay. Hey, Jay. Tell me about Jay Lolina. Oh, yeah, you want to see them react? So watch the long worm organisms. Watch this. They're going to react. I made that happen. I interacted with these organisms. So when people say, are these organisms aware? Are they sentient? Yeah, to some degree, for sure. Let me do it one more time. See that recoil that they all do? I tapped the slide there, right? So that recoil is a response to the stimulus of me putting any energy into the slide. And that's kind of how it works, right? When we're thinking about that recoil behavior, we're not necessarily thinking they're doing it because they sense A, B, C, or D. They consider everything just A, right? It's just stimulus. So maybe they know when predators are bumping up against them, but that's a reaction they do in order to avoid predation. You shorten yourself up, you really remove yourself from the organism that's trying to eat you. Isn't that cool? So I'll do it one more time, just so y'all can see. Again, these will all recoil. And a fun thing about the spirostomum is that recoil is kind of a chain reaction that happens so incredibly quickly. One will recoil, and then the rest will sense. There you go. The reflexes are just as fast as mine when I have a donut to catch. So there you go. So it's the last time we'll do that. But that is essentially, you can definitely say that then these organisms are more aware than we give them credit for. And the most interesting fact about it for me is that these organisms are quote unquote aware without having a brain, without having a central nervous system. They're able to sense that. They're able to have reactions to things without the complex thought required. Whether it's just like binary code based off what their genetics tell them, what to do, how to be. I don't really think it's that simple. I think it's kind of a collection and a conglomeration and working and between compromising of the organelles working together for what they need. Pretty cool stuff here. You seem like you'd be a good teacher. I'm intrigued. Thanks, Ghost. I've been doing this for 2 years now. I totally self-taught entirely. I did not go to school for microbiology. I went to school for human communications with an emphasis on public speaking, rhetoric, and movements of struggle and progress. And my job is a 9-to-5 mid-level sales operations. So this is what I do in my free time. I love doing this, and I want to continue to grow it. And I'll probably never stop. Can't really stop. Transfer, Mike. You should transfer your emotes over here. I should. He is a teacher. Saharina, thank you. People, I refuse to take the title of teacher, professor, or scientist. I don't really consider myself those things. I've taught myself about these, and my job is to keep it very broad, so we can explain things to each other. And you're our teacher. And rhetorical criticism. Yes. Yes, rhetorical criticism. Essentially, reading in between the lines of everything. And I wish I was kidding, but that's what it is. What predators exist for these organisms? So, anything bigger. I know it sounds weird. But there are predatory ciliates like Dileptis and Lacrimaria, which are certainly definably predatory organisms. I'm sure there are some rotifers, maybe nematodes as well. And really anything that's filter feeding. That can, if something's filter feeding and it has a big enough mouth to fit you in, your food. So it's kind of like a broad range of organisms. And then again, you got to think about macroorganisms or organisms you don't need a microscope to see. Like developing amphibians, small fish. So let's say you're conglomerating next to a piece of algae or an aquatic plant like duckweed. And you're there as a microorganism, and then a fish that eats duckweed or eats algae eats that duckweed you're next to. You're necessarily going to get eaten because you're right next to it, right? Mike, added water to the slide. Yes, sorry, added water to the slide. But yeah, there are organisms that predate upon each other. These ones are normally more platonic with each other than anything. I've seen euplotes eat Eurocentrum turbo, but we don't have really many euplotes or any Eurocentrum turbo tonight. But about another 5 minutes here. Going to go to the 2. Or actually, we'll just do a whole hour here. So another 6 minutes. But you know that I love you all. Just I do. And I want you to believe in yourselves. I want you to believe in yourselves, and I mean it. Too often we'll sell ourselves short. We'll say we're not capable, we don't know if we can do it. Here's a fun fact. Trying and doing are always the same thing. Right? Trying and doing are the same thing. So just try. Biggest part of it is showing up. That's the trying part. You know what I mean? Doing just comes from the rest of it. The exact that are being eaten? No, these will probably get digested. Yeah, these are digested. You definitely earned a subscriber. Oh, Ghost. Gee Willikers, I'm blushing over here. Thank you. Learning and motivation. Yes, it's part of the channel here, right? is not just necessarily just teaching science, but making an impact on the world. And teaching, like, again, I say it in a kind of a joking way, but I honestly mean it like this: teaching people to hate themselves less. Because I've struggled with that my whole life, is disliking me, and I think it's important now that I've gotten to a point in my life and I've been there for a while where I've come to accept and love myself, that I kind of maybe can help other people do that, and teaching people to be kind. That's an absolute must. You too, Mike. You're doing really great, and I really like this live. Thank you so much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop you out. We're gonna wrap things up in the other room like we normally do, but I'm gonna keep it abridged, just really brief. So I have a shutter on here. Let's flip you around. Let's bring you into the other room real quick and wrap up this live. I'll get the microorganisms back in just a minute to the sample. Oh, whoops. Of course. Of course. Fans on. Fans on. All right. Just do a quick little talky poo, Nothing serious. Okay. All right. Oh, jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. All right. Let's get our other lights on. I really can't stand it. Oh, shit. It's cold outside. I really can't scoop. It's cold outside. I'm just gonna let you go. Clearly don't wanna be here. I really appreciate you understanding. Do 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 do. A scoop do do do. All right. Hey, little smellies. It's me. Hi, I'm a real boy. You can tell I have a microscope tattoo. Where is it? Here's the old microscope that I used to have. It broke a while ago. I better bother Mike next. I gotta bother Mike next time. It's Mike bothering time. What's Mike bothering time, Totinos? Who are you? But yeah, I had a great time here. We had 20 viewers, 13 likes. I don't know how anything works here. I had a great time. I hope you did too. We saw Paramecium, Spirostomum, Euplotes, Eliosomas, the cyanobacteria, regular bacteria as well. Awesome. Really great start to lives over here. Again, I will post this as a post live clip or whatever they're called. And this is Mike bothering time. Try it. Try it on me. Once we hit 500 subscribers on the channel, then we'll start getting, like options in terms of like gifting and stuff like that. I don't know how it works. What camera do you use that's such good quality with the microscope? iPhone 13 Pro. M for microscope, not for mayonnaise. But I had a great time. Mayoscope, shut up. Yeah, it's just the iPhone going into the eyepiece using the bottom right lens, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I had a great time. Thank you all for being here. I think tonight I want to kind of like give us a little bit, again, we're going to keep it broad here. I have to read the terms of service just to see how YouTube is about lives and what content they will allow and disallow. So I'm going to keep it pretty abridged here. An act of service that we can do to ourselves, and it's corny, and just hear me out here, but it helps, I promise. Write yourself a love letter. Sometimes it's hard to identify the qualities that we love about ourselves, and there's lots of them, right? And other people see them very easily. They're like, oh, that's an awesome quality you have, right? And you don't even see that yourself because you're a little hard on yourself sometimes. So, a practice that I do every once in a while is I'll sit down and I'll write myself a love letter, and then I'll go through that. It doesn't have to be long. It can be a few sentences, a paragraph, a few pages, how much you want it. But I'll sit down and I'll go through with a highlighter and I'll highlight the 3 things that hit me the most when I was gushing about myself, Weird way to say it, but you know what I'm talking about. Write yourself a love letter, and those 3 qualities that you identify that stick out the most to you, that you talk to yourself about, those are the qualities that everybody else sees in you. Trust me, that's kind of how it works. Those are the qualities that everyone else sees in you, rather than like, oh, I'm never on time, or oh, I'm kind of good, I cancel plans, or oh, I'm nervous, I'm anxious when I'm out. No, people don't focus on those things, especially if they love you and care for you and they're your friends, right? uh, it's not what they'll focus on. But what they do focus on is the great things you bring to the relationship, either a romantic or a friendship or within your family. That's why they love you, is your good qualities, not your bad. It's easy to put ourselves under a microscope. It really is. And we can be our worst critic, but it is so much easier to walk through life hand in hand with ourselves as allies rather than critics and enemies. It took a long time in my life to figure that out, right? Self-love is important, right? Self-love being the ability to forgive yourself. You know, that person that you care about, you love, that family member, that person that's really close to you, and if they did anything wrong, you'd be like, oh, I still love you. Don't know who needs to hear this, but please, please, please keep that same energy for yourself. Do not ruminate. It doesn't help to beat yourself up. It also doesn't help to like qualify yourself as like your friend asks you to go play basketball, and you're like, okay, just to let you know, I suck at basketball. I know nobody needs to know that. Nobody needs to know that you suck at basketball. Just go. Go say, oh, yeah, I'm ready to have some fun. Go play. Have fun. Don't qualify yourself. And when you make a mistake, don't qualify yourself by your language of calling, like, oh, how could I be so stupid to forget my wallet? How could I have forgot to send that spreadsheet? I'm such an idiot. That doesn't serve you. It feels like it helps and it feels like you should be critical of yourself, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is that when you make a mistake, you view it as a learning or a developmental, you know, growth like milestone, right? And you identify what you did was wrong. You identify where your mistake was, and beyond that, you do not need to beat yourself up about it. What I do is I make a mistake, I say I'm only human, and to hold myself to expectations higher than that of perfection is ridiculous. Self-care, small habits of self-care. I ain't talking about like showering, shaving, like the Sunday best. I'm talking small routines and habits that will reinforce your care for yourself. So brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, washing your face with soap, washing under your arms, these very small things, especially because I mean, I've been there. I've been so depressed looking in the mirror and been like, ew, I don't even want to take care of you, you gross little boy. But I did. And it reinforced myself over time that if I was spending all this time caring about myself, is it even possible that I even really hate myself? Why the hell would I be spending so much time? I wouldn't. I wouldn't be spending any time on that, right? I wouldn't spend time on taking care of myself if I didn't love myself just a little, right? Self-value. Nobody sets your value. No dude sets your value. That's not a thing. No person can set your value. So just remember that your value is set by yourself, and it's directly correlated to how you your self-care and your self-love. And all these three of these things kind of build into loving yourself in a more wholesome way. Reach out to your friends and family. Let them know that you have a connection to them. The people that you love, you care about, that have been there for you. Not all friends, not all family have been there for you, right? So be the ones that are constantly there for you and have your back all the time. Make sure the connection is known, because no day is guaranteed, no tomorrow is guaranteed. Also, please, 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 please check in on your quiet friends, your isolated friends, your depressed friends, and all your friends, the friends that like think can make a joke and are always funny about everything, right? Check in on those people, check in on them, and it's as easy as saying, hey, just checking in through text. Because I've been there, and that message, a message like that, I swear it saved me, right? So check in on your friends. I think it saves lives. Um, Support marginalized communities and women in their pursuit in STEM specifically. For a long time, voices outside of mine, right? You see me, what I look like, have been kind of ignored. Um, and I also see like the difference of treatment that I get between a female microscopist. And like, I wish it was just a talking point. I wish it was, but I never get asked about my qualifications. I never am told to go back to the kitchen to feed my kids, right? I'm never said like, oh, where's your family? I'm 32. I don't have one. Wouldn't that be something that I get yelled at for? It's just differences in treatment that I've seen. Why I think that I need to support those people, both marginalized populations and women, and use the positioning that I have to advocate for positive change. Um, let's think about the people who are suffering in the world too, and advocate for them. That's very important. Um, I think we're drops in the bucket, and that's a silly thing to say, right? It's drops in the bucket. But what is a drop? A drop fills buckets, by the way, when a whole bunch of them fill a bucket together, right? I want to be a drop. I imagine so do you. But what is it? Drop is an act of kindness or creating beauty. So, for essence, for example, holding the door open for somebody. Please and thank you. Manners are so incredibly important, and they you really don't think about them nowadays, but manners are so important in creating and fostering healthy relationships with the people around you, right? Um, letting someone go ahead of you at traffic at that tough intersection where it's really hard to turn out of. Letting someone go ahead of you at the grocery store, especially if it's like a parent with like 3 kids, one of them screaming about like Skibbity Mr. Beast juice, and the other one's like, oh, I want a Dunkin' Donuts, and they're just screaming, having a hard time. Let that parent go ahead. Let them just go ahead and let them get 5 more minutes of their day back, and I'll wait for it. It's also just a compliment, like, hey, I like that hat. It's a pretty cool hat. Oh, I like that watch. Oh, your nails are looking really cool. And you don't get creepy about it, especially if you're a dude like me. Like, don't get up in like women's spaces like that and be like, "Oh, I like your nails. Let me look at them." Just be like, "Hey, I like your nails. Have a good day." That's how it should go. Those types of compliments really boost people up, even if like they don't really care. Like it subconsciously does, right? And but it's not just acts of service. It's like acts of beauty. So it's the sound to a parent of mommy or daddy when they walk through the day or the door at the end of the day. It's a horrible day, and their day gets kind of better. Or your pets, how excited they are to see you when you come home. That act of beauty. It's two lovers dancing, their eyes glazed over with romance and smiling and holding each other close, and sweet whispers of sweet nothings. That's beauty. It's the painter painting, the musician playing, the vocalist singing, the carpenter carving. It's all these things that build beauty into our world. I think that's important. And drops work together. Drops ripple. So one kind act may cause 1,000, a million, a billion kind acts just because you're one did. Maybe people will pay it forward. Unlikely, but maybe. Worth a shot. But I also think we're born with a brick. A brick represents our agency to make an impact in the world. And unfortunately, the size of that brick and the ability does normally rely on who your mommy and daddy was, right? That sucks. Some people can make more impacts than others, and that's just how it is, and that'll change. But some people let the brick on the ground. They'll leave it on the ground, say it's too hard. I don't know how to fix the world, and I don't blame you. This crushing, burdensome question of how does one fix society is nebulous at best and unanswerable at worst. So I get that. Like, I will never criticize somebody for not knowing how to make a change in their world. And first off, like, how do you change the world if like your mom is sick? How do you change the world if somebody in your life you love, your family is ill, and you're caring for them? How do you make a change when you're raising 3 kids? You're focused on your own life, and I'm not gonna come and with sit on a high horse or stand on a pedestal and say you're not doing enough. I get it. I totally get it. Maybe you'll come back to your brick, though. Some people use that brick to advocate for change. The elimination of any isms and phobias is amazing, right? Any of that garbage stuff doesn't make any sense. Isms and phobias, they're just hate systems used to keep everyday people, like you and I, hating each other for no reason. Some people will justify their hatred with their faith. And to them, I say to you, there's no amount of Sunday praying or a man praying over you in a robe that will protect you from the horrible things that you've justified using your faith. So stop doing that. Stop using your faith to justify your hatred, your judgment, right? Stop that. Don't do that. that's going to end up bad for you. Okay? And I don't mean here. I mean in the next life, or whatever it is. I'll see you there. I'm gonna chuckle at you though, because you're gonna longest damn day of your life if you're that type of person. Stop justifying hatred and violence and bigotry with a religion or a faith that is the antithesis of what it is for. Um, Furthermore, some people use their bricks in a smaller way in community, and they chip like little bits of their bricks into the community. And I wouldn't have a community without the mods that I have, without the crew, without the silent viewers, the tappers, the people who came over here from the other app, everyone, the gifters. I would not have a platform without that. So for that, I greatly appreciate everyone. And W to all the mods here. One needs more of that. I was going to say, pay it forward, Ghost. You got it. As soon as I love this guy, thank you. Saying he's definitely a hidden gem. Oh, stop. We're looking for microorganisms to thinking about our purpose in the cosmos. Absolutely. I get that. But some people can also use their brick in a foundational way, like I have, and I've seen other people do multiple times. They make their own little nice little oasis, their own little community of love, respect, acceptance, patience, gratitude, compassion, empathy. That's a great community. And I'll be down by the river with the rest of the people making the foundations with their bricks. You and I can hand in hand walk up to that bridge and place our brick where it belongs and build humanity up and maybe find connection along the way, because I have to have hope. I do. As hard as it is to have hope, now more than ever, I need to make sure that that candle flame, that beacon of the lighthouse of hope is burning and shining brighter than ever. We won't let hate win. Humanity's not doomed. We got this. Okay? It might just seem like it right now, but we got this. I promise you that. There are still good people out there. There's still beauty in this world. It's just harder to find. The reels won't show you. Very rarely. The papers will probably never tell you, and the news talking heads, they won't tell you either. But goodness exists. And it exists right here. And the only reason I can say that it exists is because I see you all right here. So I think I'll ask you now, what you gonna do with your brick? And you wanna be a drop with me? Snap, clap with it. Okay. Hope allows people opportunities and change. It's the catalyst of it. Without hope, there is no change. But I'm going to scroll up to the chat here to tell everybody that I love them. I do love you all. But this is what I do at the end. If you don't want to hear me say I love you with your username, now's your time to dip. I'll have the valet bring the whip around. It's a nice Kia you got there. Hope is healing for those who are disenfranchised. Yes. Yes. All right. So I love you, Jay. I love you, Alex. Ghost, thanks for being my new friend. Love you. Totino's, thanks for being my new friend, too. Love you. Seriously, I want to be a regular. You'll be here. I'll be back tomorrow night, probably same time-ish. Mighty Funk Monk, thank you for being here. My new friend, too. It's okay, share. This is where we feel make a difference. People deserve kindness, and it takes so little very effort from others. Yes, so like when I'm dealing with a cashier, like I'll look them in the eyes and I'll try to read their name tag if they have one, just so like, because you're a human being, you know, you got a name, you got a history, you're somebody's child, right? Like they rocked you in their arms like this maybe, so like you're a human, right? So I always believe in name tagging it if it's available, which kind of freaks people out sometimes. I'm not dipping. So Harina, love you. Alex, I love you. Scott, I love you. I will be here tomorrow. Same name on TikTok, though, if you want to find me there. I've got a lot of content there, a lot of content. But I love you all. I'm going to go. Be kind to one another. And tomorrow, I know it's hard to do, but try to put yourself in someone else's shoes. It doesn't have to be anything bad, but just try to put yourself in someone else's shoes. That's empathy, right? So imagine if you were them and how you'd react, okay? Okay, I love you. Bye, smellies.